وقلوبنا دايما سكناتك. احنا ولاد عمك واخواتك وقلوبنا دايما سكناتك.
Welcome back, and actually raising the public awareness about population growth as well as many other important issues, whether the early marriage of girls or the consequences of FGM and other, is one of the most, or are one of the most crucial issues. And actually it was discussed and also undertaken during the Cross Egypt Challenge, which was launched by the UNESCO and the Ministry of Youth and Sports, where 4 Egyptian athletes walked all the way from Aswan till the Nile Valley, and that's almost more than 950 kilometers. And they stopped at the different villages and at the various governorates, and they talked with the people, knowing their views about the different important issues that concerns population growth and other domestic and social affairs. And they tried to raise their awareness from a young person to another young person, from youth to youth. And we have 2 of these athletes. We have with us Jumana Ismail as well as Abdullah Hussein Hamouda, and we're happy to have them with us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Jumana. Hello, Abdullah. And I would like to know in the beginning, how and why did you decide to participate in the Cross Egypt Challenge?
Okay. I have knew about the challenge from Abdullah. They have started several months before I knew about the challenge. It was the idea of Helmi Said. He has the world record. He has a Guinness record of crossing Europe by bike from Russia until Portugal, Helmi Said, and he did that to raise awareness on autism. So when he returned to Egypt, he wanted to do something similar. So he thought that walking Egypt would be the best way. It's the simplest way of transportation. So he talked to Abdullah about it, and together they went to the UNFPA, and their Sasha, the representative, liked the idea immediately and agreed that they would start it. Then they started composing the team. Omar Hisham joined, and I joined the last 10 days before the challenge actually starts.
Actually, that must have really required a lot of preparations to be able to walk such a long distance. Also that you'll be walking, and also you'll be holding discussions with people and with young individuals. Definitely you must have had long training sessions and hours of discussions, so choosing the topics, preparing yourself to what you might encounter. So would you tell us what happened behind the scenes before the start of the challenge itself?
Abdullah can tell you better because he was there from the first start.
So tell us about
Okay, Jumana's background allowed her to be part of the team and part of the awareness campaign. She's a trainer. She catched up easily, but we did several trainings with the UNFPA to know more about the cause, to know more about the challenges of the population growth, and to know more about Egypt and the statistics in Egypt and everything about the whole campaign. We have different challenges. The challenge from the sportive point of view. So we have a background. I'm an athlete. I play athletics in Al Ahly Club. Omar Hisham is also a jump master. He do parachuting. Helmi is cycling all the way and playing different. We are playing different type of sports. But the 4 or 5 months before the campaign, we started walking long distances and traveling between different governorates on foot to see how the challenge will be and what's the preparations needed. What are the preparations needed to be able to do this challenge?
Okay, but I want to know the idea itself. Who told you about the idea and how you got enthusiastic about it?
It was Helmi's idea. He, after the challenge of crossing the European continent, it's the record of the fastest crossing of the European continent from Russia to Portugal. He wanted to do something similar, and he did this to raise awareness on autism. So he wanted to do something similar in Egypt. And by bike it was not going to be enough challenge for him. So he wanted to do it on foot. He told me about the idea. We are friends. He told me about the idea. I was very motivated to join him. Then we started working on it. We called Omar to join the team because he is my friend from the scout and he is already traveling on foot. I always see his pictures posting that he traveled from Cairo to Alexandria walking all the way.
Wow.
So he joined the team. Then we wanted an important cause and a cause that it's related to the Egyptian community, something or a problem in facing everyone in Egypt. So we believed in the UNFPA message to raise awareness about the population growth, to say yes for family planning, no for FGM, and no for kids marriage.
Now, tell us more about the feedback of the youth. Definitely stopping at different governorates. Each area must have had its own traditions and its own mentality. So what were some of the most, let's say, memorable discussions that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, definitely. At each governorate, we had different reactions depending on their traditions, as you have said. There were some that were more conservative and other more open for discussion. We had a discussion regarding the FGM. Omar specifically had it with a father who was going to go do the surgery for his daughter 2 weeks after, and the guy knew that it was harmful for her. He knew that it wasn't related to religion, and still he was going to do it because of the traditions of the village he's living in. Omar started talking to him again about the harmful, how it's going to harm his daughter, and how it's the perception that FGM will save the girl from doing things that they may regret later is not right, because it's all in the mind, not in anything else. So he started talking to him, and the guy was convinced that he shouldn't do that for his daughter. And he took his number, and then he got back to him and so on, and we are still seeing what he's gonna do, if he's really gonna do this to his daughter or not. This was one of the discussions that really is memorable to all of us.
What else, Abdullah?
There are different type, as you mentioned, different governorates have different awareness. So a similar man, he was from the support team in Bani Suef. He was asking me about the FGM, and he has 3 daughters, and the older one is 12 years old. So he was asking, is it time to cut her?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we started a conversation, but he at the end of the conversation, he decided not to do it for any of his girls. So we have some people, the traditions, they can't, the traditions is traditions.
Not even to be discussed.
No discussion.
It's not even subject for discussion.
Exactly, and other people, they understood, and they wanted to, they were aware of the problem, and they wanted to tell other people about it.
But did you notice that younger generations in those villages perhaps are more open-minded than the older ones, or?
Okay, let me talk about the sports, using the sports for development or for raising awareness. So the target segment now is more the younger age.
Yes.
So they will ask about it. Are you really walking 42 kilometers every day the full marathon distance every day for 24 successive days. So they start asking us, why are you doing this? So we have a conversation and we start telling them about our messages.
Now, I understand that, Abdullah, you're used to walking. But now I'd like to ask about you, because actually you managed to complete, because he was injured, and you managed to complete all the course. Now, how did you prepare yourself for it, and how challenging was it to walk all that distance?
I'm an athlete since I was a young girl. Like I used to play artistic gymnastics, and then I played different sports.
Yes.
And currently I go swimming, I go biking, and I travel by bike and things like that. So I'm an athlete, but not a professional one.
Yes.
To prepare for the walking challenge, Abdullah has helped me in the beginning. The first walk, I had it with him. It was 24 kilometers. He pushed me to do the 24 kilometers. And then I went home and I told him I walk like a penguin. Like and then I had 2 more walks with Omar and a final walk with myself. And still the plan was that I would go and do 10 kilometers per day because I wasn't fit. But the first day I found myself I was able to do it. The second day I was able to do the full distance. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because especially like at night when we went home, I start feeling all the pain, and really I wasn't sure. Every day I wasn't sure if I would be able to walk in the morning or not from the pain. But it was miraculous, really, like how our body heals itself. I woke up in the morning and I find myself, okay, so let's do it again today. And so on until I was able to finish the 900 kilometers.
Okay. Were there any activities launched during the marathon in parallel to the discussions that you held with the people?
Yeah, sure. We have university students with us in each governorate. We also visited a lot of youth centers. The activations in the youth centers were prepared by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. We had games and we played some games. We talked to people. We played the treasure hunt. So we tried to use different tools to deliver our message.
Now, I'm quite curious, 42 kilometers, how many hours of walking would that be? And was it difficult, like you can do it on the first day, then the second day? Did it wear you out? And how did you manage to sustain yourself so that you'd continue walking 42 kilometers for 24 days?
Actually, we started gradually. Like the first day, because it was the opening ceremony, so we did 26 kilometers, I guess, or 27 kilometers. Then the second day was 30-something kilometers, and it started growing gradually until there were days that Helmi and I did 50 kilometers because we had to, because we were challenged that we need to be in Cairo on the 8th of February. So it was gradual increase, and our body gradually adapted to the distance. So yeah.
That would be how many walking
hours?
How
many hours? We walk like 5 kilometers per hour is the pace. Sometimes 6 like the 50 kilometers per day, we walked like 6 kilometers per hour. So almost 10 hours walking. And
a day?
10 hours walking per day, like 9 hours and a half or 10 hours and a half. It depended on the distance. And we had 2 hours break in the middle, and then we have dinner, and then we return back to our hotels. So actually, we only had 7 hours, 1 hour to shower and just to prepare to go to bed, and 5 hours to sleep, and then wake up to just prepare for the walk the next day.
You must have lost a lot of weight.
I did. I have.
I'm sure you did. But I would like to know from you about the, if I may say, interesting incidents that happened. I'm sure that there were so many interesting stories that happened during this journey.
The most lovely like stories or incidents that I had is with kids. I love kids. So while walking, especially in Aswan and Luxor, kids just salute us by hi, hello, and so on in English because they think that we are
tourists.
Yeah. So and then we surprise them. All of us. We tell them "Assalamu alaikum, aw izayyakum." So they start laughing and we start conversation. I invite kids to walk with me, and we had this different discussions, and like one of them, the girl wasn't sure, like, so can't you just ride the car, she said innocently. And I was like, yes, maybe, but I wouldn't have had this discussion with you, and I wouldn't have met you, so this is why we are walking, to be able to meet you girls and so on.
What about you, Abdallah, your most interesting moment?
The nature was really amazing. Every minute was interesting, was really interesting. So we meet people all the way. We enjoy the nature because we are living in Cairo. Most of us are living in Cairo, so we don't see the River Nile, we don't see the agriculture road, we don't see the fields, and we don't see the mountains. We discovered another part of Egypt. We are really happy to see.
Okay, Jumana Ismail and Abdallah Sin Hamouda from Crossing Egypt Challenge. It was a great honor talking to you today, and I hope that you would actually do it again. Perhaps in the next time you would have more people joining you for this very noble cause. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we will be looking at a report about Valentine's Day.